Hello everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Dream of Crafts. My name is Deanna, and we're working on our 16th week of Sunday morning craft and chat. I'm so happy to be with you this morning. And last week I had showed these domes. Now they've got the weight and the feel of glass, but they are a plastic. And I had two different sizes. I had a bigger one and a smaller one, and I wanted to create a couple of 12 Days of Christmas gifts that I'm working on, for one for Brooklyn's teacher and one for her bus driver. So they will each get 12 Days of Christmas. And so these are Studio Light Essentials craft domes, and one was a 12 cm and the other one was a 10 cm height. So, and I got these at the craft outlet quite a while ago, and they've been in my stash waiting for me to create something with them. You might see paint or something on my hands or whatever. I've been working on several projects today, so I might have speckles on me yet. And so what I did with the bases is I just coated them on all sides with white Americana craft paint. So I got those all done and dried. And I've already put together one of the little churches that we're going to put in. And then we're also going to use the smallest of the trees and the Christmas trees from the Dollar Tree assortment. It's a 6-piece set, and I just chose the smallest ones. And then what I did was I cut the base off because I don't need the base, so I just clipped that off. And I used the I got everything flying there. I used the Tim Holtz 664741, and it is the Paper Village. And I believe it's the first Paper Village, just the tiny ones. And I used this house here, and I used this part of this house here. Okay, and I'll show you what I did. So I used the church window and doors for the base of this house. This is the house here. And I also used this little circle die. So you get a die that has these windows in it and this door. And then there's a separate circle die, and you have to place them in all yourself, so you can choose what you want your house to look like. In addition to that, I used the little this window here. This is two separate dies here too. So you've got the die that makes just this cut. So if you didn't want anything on the back, you didn't want any holes in it. And then this is the cutout with that window in. I thought that looked the most like a steeple or church window to me. And then in addition to that, yeah, so each of these so there was only one door, and then the back of the building, I just used that single window again. So, and then I want to show you how I cut these down to make this steeple part here. You can guess at it, and I haven't seen anybody use this method yet, but I wanted to show you that how I do it, because I have just cut them and they end up all wonky and not right, and I want them the same. I want consistency. So what I did is, once my window was cut here, and I got as close as I could, if you can see those two dies without them touching, that's how I cut it out. I then came back in with my window or my house die that I was using, and I lined up the top of this die. I'm going to zoom right in so you can see. So the top of this house die here is lined up right with the bottom of that window, and I wanted to center the peak of this house with the center of that window. Once I got those two set, then I took my pencil and I drew a line up to the center, and then down to the score line. Okay, so right down to the score. Oops, sorry about that. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a score line right in between here. So if I bend this just like that, and I used 110-pound weight cardstock. I would recommend maybe a little bit lighter, as it does kind of create, it's a little rough, but for what I'm doing, I don't think it's going to be that noticeable. So, but I would use maybe a little bit lighter than 110. You could easily get away with 65-pound weight. I need a tool here. All right, let me go ahead and do that. So once you get that marked like that, then you're going to go in with a nice sharp pair of scissors, and you're just going to snip up to that mark, and then you're going to snip down to that right there, and then you're going to come right up, get that out of there, and then come straight across. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to erase any lines. There we go. So that's how I created that, and that has worked the best for building these, for me anyway. Okay, so those are kind of extras, so I don't really need that up here because I've got all my other ones folded and ready to go. So once you get that done, then you have two pieces that are exactly alike. What you're going to do then is take your fold here on one, and you're going to line this up exact like that and glue that down. So I've been kind of busy. We started Brooklyn's Elf on the Shelf, and it's actually for the other kids, the boys too, but they are teenagers, and so they're not here as much as she is, because they have friends they want to hang out with, and they've got other things they want to do. So that's the life of having teenagers. I remember those days. So we don't, they still come for dinner and stuff every once in a while. So now the extra, I'm just going to kind of trim out of there. We're going to take this hinge part again, and we're going to put a little glue on that one. So we started that, and of course I've been working on the 12 Days of Christmas for the teachers. I'm going to fold this one over and put that right on there like that. It should line up. And it's not, so let me make it line up there. All right. But yeah, so I've been busy trying to get those things all done, and it can get a little crazy around here, but that's nothing new. We keep ourselves very busy. So, and then this week we also went to horse-drawn trolley ride on Thursday evening, and then we had the annual Coopersville Santa parade that we've been going to for years with the boys, and so we continued those on with Brooklyn. So it's always fun. We are going to do the same to this house. I'm going to create my folds and try to make sure that my bottom stays level. So yeah, it's just, I posted a picture of the first day of the elves. I usually try to post a picture on Facebook. People get a kick out of that, but of their first day, she got a letter for Santa, and then this year we also started the reindeer in here for her, so she can have that fun, and that worked out pretty good because the movie that they had brought out on CBS, I believe, didn't come on until 9 o'clock. So I recorded it, and then we were going to watch it the next night. So I had wrapped her reindeer in here and had that all ready to go. I had written up a letter from Santa Claus for her, and yeah, it went off good. So she was in love with that little deer. So she actually been taking it to school. I told you can take it to school with you, but you have to leave it in your bag. So this morning she asked me if she could have a pickup at school. So I mean Friday. She asked me if she could have a pickup at school. So yep, we do. I told her this is the last one until after winter because it gets cold, because we have to stand outside the building. And then the teacher opens the classroom door on the outside, and then you can get them. But it gets a little windy and cold, and you can't sit in your car because it's quite a ways away from the parking lot. So, but it's all right. So I said, last one till spring when the weather starts getting nicer. She said, okay. All right, so we've got our little building together. These actually go together quite fast once you decide what you want to do. So for this one, I decided after I had it all built that I wanted to be silver. So I ended up using embossing powder, silver tinsel. And in order to get that to stick, I used my embossing ink refiller. And I just squirted some on and then used a brush to spread it out. And then I put my silver tinsel on. This is also a Ranger product. Silver tinsel on and heated it up. But I thought it's going to be a lot cheaper and easier to do it with just silver cardstock. So that's what I did. I cut these out. And if I would have thought about it earlier, I would have done that the same way. So you've got a roof for the steeple. You got a roof for the house. And then you got this tiny, it's supposed to be a door roof. Where did it go? Have to cut another one. Supposed to be one for silver. One in silver for that. Seem to have lost it. So I'll have to recut that and add that later. Oh, right here. Here we go. There we go. So, and just, okay. So we've got these all kind of laying nice. We want each of these to be able to touch the roof while it dries, because it's kind of small in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put my glue on here. We'll get this one built and then we'll let this kind of set up to dry, and then we'll finish putting the other one together because that's already dry. And I want this to lay over and kind of be equal, a little on the back, a little on the front hanging over. Let's see here. Okay. A little on the back, a little on the front. Whoopsie. Okay. It's kind of like that. Okay. I'm going to reach in here, and with my eraser, I'm just going to touch that down a little bit. I know it's kind of hard to see, but I'm just gently pressing with the eraser on those edges there to help hold it while it dries. There we go. And then we're going to do a test with this one. And let's see what we got here. We got a little overhang here, so we're going to trim that off where it was put together. There we go. And it seems like, okay, one of these is shorter than the other. So I'm going to go, I'm just going to cut a little bit more off of this one here. I probably should cut them off at like the same time. Let's see if that helps. Okay, that's better. All right. So now I'm going to take some scrap, and this will work here. I'm going to take a little bit of scrap, and I'm just going to cut it. And I'm going to fold each one of these. It doesn't have to be exact, about in half. And what I'm going to do is glue that inside of here so I have something that will hold this to my roof. Otherwise, there's nothing. It's just, so going to go, how do I want to do that? How did I do that? How did I do that? Okay. I have to think it through. I have to think it through. How did I do that? Okay, yeah, all right. That's what I thought. Okay, so I'm going to put some glue right here. Glue in there. And then this is going to face, the pinch part, like the open part is going to face down. It's going to face up. So line it up at the bottom there, just like that. So it's not in the way. And then that will go up like that. Do the other side, put some glue right here. Same thing. Pinch part going up. Line it up with the bottom of the steeple there. Okay. All right. So those are ready. And then before we glue it onto the building, I'm going to get these ready. And I'm going to put my glue on there. We want the roof on, so we're not pressing on the roof while it's on that delicate other roof. And this one goes right on there like that. Just like so. Some in the back, some on the front. I'm just going to kind of hold it there a little bit. So we've got, what else we got going on? Just trying to get the Christmas shopping done like everybody else. And I'm pretty much done with Brooklyn. I don't know what Aiden wants. I know what I'm getting Gunner. I don't know. As they get older, it gets so hard when they start to become teenagers. Brooklyn's so easy because, you know, she's just mostly Barbies and things like that, you know. But, okay, I'm just going to reach in that window and kind of press those little things down there. And then also, when I go to do the glitter, then I will do this icing around there, the frosting around there, and then I'll make sure that that gap is closed up in there. Okay. All right. So let me set that there a couple minutes. We're going to bring in, which one do we want to do this in? All right, we'll do this one in the small one. So I'm going to come in with some snow. And I have two different kinds. I have Snow Tex. And this one's easy to find. Hobby Lobby carries this. And this one's Aleene's Glitter Snow. I don't have as much of that left, so I'm going to save that. And we're going to use the Snow Tex. And I have like a little spatula tool here that I like to use. This is pretty dry. And what I typically do, it's all right down in there, I think. I was going to say, what I sometimes do is I'll grab, if it starts getting too dry, add some Mod Podge to it. And that usually livens it up a little bit. So I'm just going to spread this down all over, but avoiding where the dome has to go in there. And I don't need a lot in the center, but I want, when I push up the house, I want it to be around there. So it's kind of like frosting a cake, kind of. Boy, that is a little dry. All right, I'm going to scrape this off, and I am going to add some Mod Podge to this because it's a little drier than what I would like it. That's a new jar, but it's been sitting for quite a while. So let's see. Just plain old Mod Podge. Just plain old Mod Podge. It's a regular brand. Let's pour a fair amount in there. There we go. Yeah, that just makes it a little more spreadable. And it's just glue. It dries clear and it's matte, so it's not going to dry all shiny. But see, it makes it a lot softer again. There we go. That's better. And I come up with that idea myself because at the price of products and they start drying up, and it's worked for me every time, so I do it rather than throw stuff away. You know, nowadays it's like some things you can't, I mean, you even have a hard find in yet. So, but I always get mine at, whoops, I'm sorry. Boy, I should zoom back out a minute. There we go. Sorry about that if I wasn't in view. I don't need a bunch under the house. I mean, you'll see it through but it's not going to be a big deal. It's all right. There we go. Okay, put that in there like that. I'm going to put a cover on that. And for this one, I used I don't even know where it is right now. Let me see. I used, right here. I used the Snow Rider, and I might just use this stuff. It's the same thing. It's from the same company. It's just in a tip form, so it's kind of hard to squeeze out sometimes. So, in fact, maybe I'm going to set this in there. And I want this kind of front, like so. So it leaves room for my tree in the back. Just like that. And I might actually put a little bit extra for the tree to help hold it in there better. Let's see here. There we go. So I got a nice little mound there. I'll hold it sideways so you can see a nice little mound. And then I'm going to stick my tree in there. Let's go ahead and add a little bit of glitter. See, and then it's just going to be so cute. I wonder if I can move that off to the side just a little bit. I wonder if I can get 2 trees in there. Maybe I'll get a big one. Let's see. Let's grab another one. I'm going to grab my pliers a second and see if I can get another one in there. All right, so if I cut here, okay. Okay, that's going to be too big, so I'm going to go in here a ways. And if I can get in there. And they'll still be taller than the other one. Okay. Okay, let me see. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to put another mound in here. So I'm going to move this kind of this way. Put more of a mound in there. For this next tree. Oops, not there. There we go. And I'm going to slide it in there like so. I want to make sure they're straight. There we go. Like that. So that's the back, and then this will be the front. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get some of my Tim Holtz Clear Rock Distress Glitter, and I'm going to sprinkle that in the snow there. It's the same. I've used it on the house too. Let me use this here. Need something clean that I can put it back in there with. And I believe I have a little spoon here, which makes it a little easier. All right, let's see what we can do without getting it all over. So I'm just going to take and I'm just sprinkling it down there. Whoops, there I go, out of frame again. Good grief. Just give it a little sparkle. Okay, all right. And I'm going to pick that up. That. And then you got a nice, okay. So now I want to put some, set that there a second. I'm going to get this closed back up here. This is the prettiest glitter. It is just beautiful. Nice and crystal clear, no other colors in it. Just sparkly. Now I want to put, what kind of glue do I want to use for, you know what? I think I'm just going to use my art glitter glue, and I'm going to kind of flood it into here because it dries clear. Maybe get that around there. And I'm just squirting it out here. Like that. There we go. And then I'm going to take my dome and I'm going to carefully I might have to wait until it's dry. Hang on. Okay. Let's see here. Keep everything straight. I don't want it to go crooked on me. All right, so the bottoms of these have to go further. You have to go like that. I'm just checking to make sure everything looks straight from the different angles. Okay, and then let me see here, like that. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay. So what I gotta do is tip you like this. Oopsie. Make sure it's in there. Looks pretty good, but pulled up my house there a second. Hang on. It pulled up my house. All right, what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe my edge off here, and I'm going to let this dry before I start putting that back in there, because then I think I'll be better off. Let me see here. See the fuzz there. Okay. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to try to get that, some of that glue out of there, smoosh it around so it's not in my way. And then I'm going to let this dry like that. And then I'll put the dome on when it's all dry. Perfect. Sit it over in the sun. I have two choices. I can sit it by the heater or sit it in the sun. So that's one. And the second one's going to be the same. It's going to be exactly the same, just in a bigger dome. I'm going to wipe this, get this wiped off here before it dries here. So yeah, like I said, I've had these domes for a couple of years, and I knew I wanted to make something with them. I just never could decide what. I thought, well, they'll just sit there until I decide what I want to do. And so then I was messing around with these houses, and I thought, oh, I want to make I think I'll make a white church for that, and then just put those in there. And I tried to find some, I even looked online to try to find some of these couches, I believe. I'm going to have to wash that. Couches with the top, with the ornament top. But I couldn't find any plastic ones. They were all glass, and I didn't really want to mess around with glass. So let's go ahead and I'll show you how I did that. So like I said, the other one I used the writer. So we're just going to put this, get this iced here. So what I do is I just come in. Boy, that is crooked. Why is that crooked? Hang on. I guess it's crooked. It's crooked. Well, it doesn't want to glue to that very well, does it? I think I've had that with that paper before, with that. Let me trim some of this off here. This off there. I think one is up higher than the other, maybe. Let me try again. Let me see. I can't have it crooked. It's a gift. If it was going to sit on my own shelf, I wouldn't probably care as much. But then it's not even there. It's the top of the roof, maybe. It is. It's this part here for some reason. Let's see. I'll figure it out. One way or okay. It's always something, right? It's like it was going really good, and then boop, not so much. Not so much. All right. Yeah, something's still wrong here. This part here, maybe. Okay. Looks better. Okay. Okay. Let's see if we got it now. Little glue there, little glue there. Put you down there. All right. So you can see there's a gap there. But we're not going to worry about that because we're going to put snow there anyway. So I'm just going to kind of shoving snow in there. And I might need a smaller tool. We'll see. We'll see. Just going to kind of lift it there a little bit. I just like the looks of the snow on the rooftop. Snow on the rooftop. And snow, you know, can drip down. Be big in parts, small in parts. Just it's snow. So I'm going to try to get some that looks like it's dripping off. And then this will take a while to dry. It just will. It's just the way it works. So you probably won't see this. I want a smaller. Dun, 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 dun. Let me see here. I need a smaller tool here. Get in some smaller areas. It'll take a while to dry, which is fine. I'm just kind of giving you an idea of what I'm doing. So, and it's just It's just crafting, you know. There's no exact. It'll look fine once it's all done. It'll be beautiful. Get some up in there. It just disguises all that extra hole there. There we go. And then once we put the glitter on, then that'll be get it on all the edges, but I still want some of the silver showing through. Some of the silver showing through there, dripping down. Oopsie. So it didn't take very, I mean, I had to give the bases a couple coats of white, but you could stain them, you could do whatever. Oh, the fairy scene would look cute in one too, you know. I'm gonna get the peak of my roof here. We'll get into some of the drier stuff again. Okay. Stand you up in there. Make it look nice. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I'm going to take some of this out of here. Get it dripping down the edge there a little bit. Okay. And the wind's blowing, makes snow go other places. Okay, so let's go ahead and give that some glitter. We'll glitter that too. Ugh. There we go. Geez, oh Pete, like a bowl in a china shop. This one I'm just gonna Sprinkle it on there. Okay. All right. Let's restore that. Yeah, I like doing things like this. In fact, I think I'm going to take a birdhouse and Hobby Lobby, and I told her, I said, that is so cute. So I bought a birdhouse, and I think I'm going to make a little winter display. Yeah. So you can't see any of the gaps or anything. It looks good. So, yeah. So I'm just going to do the same thing I did with the other one, with this one, and then I'll set it aside to dry. I'm going to add a little bit more of this to there to get that. So it's the same idea, same exact thing, just a little bit bigger. Just a little bit bigger. I think maybe Loie might be dropping by next week to, or this coming week, I should say, to hang out, and maybe we'll do a little crafting together. We were together on Tuesday. Loie and me and my daughter all went to Costco together and had a nice day. We had fun. Went to Hobby Lobby, and I needed some, for some reason, of all the little jingle bells I have, I didn't have any green. None. I'm like, how can you have jingle bells and not have any green ones? So I picked up a couple packages of green bells. They had smaller ones in their Christmas craft department. And then when I went to, we stopped at Dollar Tree too, because it's right in the same parking lot as our Hobby Lobby. And so then I grabbed, they had some green bells a little bit bigger, so I grabbed those too. So I should have enough bells for a bit. All right, so I'm going to take this carefully. We're going to sit it in here. Now this one we might be able to do a little bit different. We might be able to, okay, here's our tree. Let's see what we got here. Should have grabbed my bigger trimmers. So we got a tree here maybe. This one will have definitely more room. Okay. So I'm going to add some puddle. Give it a puddle. Puddle to stand in. There we go. That one. There we go. Doesn't want to stand straight. Good. And then let's take a taller one. And I don't know how much we'll have to trim off of this one, but let's see. We'll try it with just the full tree. I don't know how tall my dome is going to be. I think it's the base of the tree is going to be too big. So I'm going to sneak in here. Cut part of that down. There we go. Okay, like that. All right. So we'll put a puddle in here. Okay. There we go. Let me see. That one's straight, but this one just does not want to stand straight as it dries as well. There we go. All right. We are going to go ahead and glitter, and then I will let you all go. Thanks for stopping in with me. I love it. I hope you give some of these different things a try. If anybody has any ideas of what they'd like me to try, it doesn't have to be Christmas. We can think about what's going on next month and the month after that, or just a regular, just a craft. You know, it doesn't have to be a holiday. Something that you've seen that you might like to work on, or want me to try it. Whoops, there goes my house. I would be willing to, as long as it's not too expensive, because I gotta open my door here. Hang on. Yep. My little door didn't get opened. There we go. I do furnish all my own supplies, so I have to consider my budget, so can't be doing crazy things, but I have a lot of craft things already. So all right, so there's that one. Very cute. I'm just really happy with those. Really happy with those, and those will look cute. I thought about putting them on the Dollar Tree has those candlesticks, and they are hard to find right now. Speaking of items that are hard to find, these Dollar Tree candlesticks by me are very hard to find, but I thought that might look cute, but it might be just too big. I think maybe I can find some small wood ones or something, but I will, if I do decide to do something like that, I will show you the next time we get together, or sometime before I give these to them, if I do decide. But I think I might just leave them the way they are, because I am happy with that, and just maybe leave them the way they are, and they can sit it on their table or a shelf or whatever. So there's my two little beautiful snowy churches, and I had fun making those, and I hope you had fun watching and hanging out with me. So as always, I wish you and your family many, many blessings, and I hope you all have a love-filled, happy holiday season. And if you're a subscriber, thank you so very much for supporting and hanging out with me on my little channel. And if you're not a subscriber, please consider doing so and hit that red subscribe button down in the right-hand corner. A bell will pop up. If you hit that bell, you can be notified each time I put up a new video. As always, I love you all. Have a great week. Bye-bye.